Oops. Hola, 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 everybody. How are you? It's me, Maris. It's a Wednesday. I'm trying to figure this. I'm using this broken stand, and I know it's broken, but if it still semi works, I'm like holding on to it. And then I go to my house, and I'm like looking at my house, and there's like 100 stands. Hey, Matthew, how are you? So it's Wednesday, and that means it's that middle of the week, and I'm using the little Soul's Journey, and I'll actually like have it over here on the side so you can see when we flip over to the other side, you can see what deck that I'm using. And I like the Soul's Journey lesson cards because, especially if I'm in a cranky mood in the middle of the week, and usually it's the middle of the week is my beginning of the week. My new work schedule starts on Wednesdays. I have Mondays and Tuesdays off. And so, well, I do other stuff on those days. So my new work schedule is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so this is my Monday. And I noticed that, like how I love Mondays, and Mondays always bring me a lot of joy. That Wednesday is my new Monday, but it doesn't feel like a Monday, if that makes any sense to you, because it barely makes sense to me. But anyway, Wednesdays for everybody else is like that hump day, that middle of the work week day, and so they might feel a little frustration. Okay, all right, so that's me. I'm kind of feeling some frustration with Wednesdays as my Monday. I'm not quite in that groove yet. I had two cards flip down. One of them's face up, one of them's face down, and I will keep it real. I'm not liking one of them. Well, actually, it's three. And I get it. Alright, so the Soul's Journey, normally I would pick one card and I would roll with that for the week, and I would meditate on that. Maybe that word might be my mantra, or the little phrase with it be part of my affirmation of the week. Trying to work on bringing my raising my vibration, or bringing the vibration up. And I must be having something, because this card like flipped up a couple times. So let's take a look at it. Alright, so the first card, okay, so there's the deck that I'm using, the Soul's Journey lesson cards. And they are by, his name is James Van Praagh. It says he's a New York Times best-selling author. Okay, rock on. Alright, and so the first card, because I ended up like throwing three cards out of the deck, and this was the one card that was face up. And so the message is about happiness. And how do we define happiness? And I'm laughing because the other two cards have to do with that. And it says that I'm aware of being happy means that I'm on the right path. And so I kind of have to laugh with that, because some of us can be on a totally negative path, but we have this sense of bliss. Okay, but we have a sense of bliss. We feel like we are on the right path, and we feel like we have a sense of bliss. But often around us, we're having issues, and that's what these other two cards are coming up with afterwards. So I'm going to I think we'll just use that. So the first one is health, and then we'll utilize this, okay? And then the next one is going to be balance, but we'll look at that in just a second. Okay, so we know that we started out with happiness, and happiness was face up. So this is the message that I'm getting up through here, is that we can define happiness in many different ways. And being aware that you're happy or feeling that happiness is usually an indicator that you're on the right path. But also being on the right path is going to have some external things, or things that are reflected externally, that will indicate that we're on that right path. Okay, and so health is going to be the first one. Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Okay, so happiness is going to be a soul thing. And then health is going to be a vessel, or the physiological aspect. Okay, so is your body working? And in fact, someone's just texted me a health thing. Is your body working in tip-top condition? Is your blood pressure too high? Is your blood pressure too low? What about your sugar? If you're a diabetic, is your glucose on and off and all over the place? Or up and down and all over the place? Are you having a lot of physical pain? Are you having a lot of physical pain? Because if you're manifesting any kind of imbalances in your health, which pain is an indicator of imbalance, then you're really not on the right path. And that's really not a strong indicator of happiness through there. Just kind of keeping it real with that. If you're having a lot of health issues, that is not a strong indicator that you are on the right path, or that you are in a state of happiness. Okay? All right. And then the last card is this balance card. Whoops. And I like the message here. Whoops. Get to see a lot of bizarre things there, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the balance card. All right, and then the balance card, it says that I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So in balance, we're going to talk about a smooth flow. When we are in a state of balance, we are experiencing a smooth flow. And I mean, we can be in balance for a day, we can be in balance for a week, we can be in balance for a month, a year, a lifetime, whatever. It's going to be a daily effort towards that, to be experiencing that balance. But in order to really experience true happiness, and knowing that you're in the right direction, doing the right things, you're going to be experiencing some things like good health. Okay, now I understand that sometimes we have some negative health that comes up. I get that. Sometimes we get the flu. Sometimes somebody coughs on us. Sometimes we ate something that we're not supposed to eat, or isn't really good for us, and we get sick to our stomach. That's natural. What we're looking at is in that health is when things linger on. When we have lingering issues, and I'm going to talk about blood pressure, etc. Weight gain, weight loss, acne, and you're 35, you're not supposed to be having acne. We should be over that, but we may be experiencing that. So it's still a part of that. There is something that is out of balance, or unhappy, or out of joy, out of harmony within your body. And then when we look at balance, let's look at some of the external things. So are your finances in a good place? Are your finances in a good place? Are you, if you have kids, are your kids doing well in school? Is your work life in a good place? Do you enjoy your work? All of these little bits of pieces actually add up into that state of balance. And if you're in a place that you're not happy, or it's not conducive to your happiness, then you're not going to be a part of that happiness, and no, you're not on the right path. So a part of that happiness, and that's what we were looking at the very beginning. Remember, I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. And that means that you have all the other little housettes or other little areas in your life are in a state of peace or harmony, balance, or they're working towards that. That includes your physical health. Take care of your physical health. Do some self-care if that's what you need to do to get into that rhythm. There's a million and one different paths that you can travel on in self-care and in healing and getting yourself back into wellness. But that is really an important factor, because if you don't have your health in check, happiness is going to be 5 times as hard to work with. So that Wednesday wisdom is a little bit of a meditative state of being and looking into your inner self and making an assessment. I'm going to use that word, making an assessment. Is your health in a good place? Body, mind, and spirit. Is your health in a good place? And then if those are all a check mark, then start looking at, are your finances in a good place? Is your work in a good place? Is your spiritual life in a good place? Because anytime you have these out of harmony or out of balance, it is going to affect your happiness. So, little wordy today. I thought this was going to be a one-card deal, and Spirit's always messing with me. Go figure. Well, peace, love, and harmony. I hope to see you very soon.